Hi, everyone. Today, we run a workshop called How to Build a Tech Startup from Concept to International Markets. First of all, thank you very much for coming. And I would like to ask you guys if you can confirm in chat that you're able to hear me well and you're able to see me as well. Can you confirm, please? Hello? One more time, guys. Can you confirm that you can hear me? Can you type in chat? I just want to make sure the sound works and the video works. So.
Все пишут, что да. Все говорят, что вас слышно на YouTube, но никто не отвечает в этом. Митинг ничего не работает, на YouTube вас слышно.
Yeah. We have the live broadcast on YouTube, but we also have the live broadcast in Click Meeting platform. So can anyone please confirm that you can hear me? We're just making the double checks in our live broadcast session. Right. I just want to make sure that you can hear me, guys, in the Click Meeting platform. So I'm going to start our workshop, our online workshop about building a tech startup from concept to international markets. This workshop is organized by Eligent Club and HALT Founders Lab of HALT Business School in London. And today we speak about building a tech startup, how to build your product, how to make the first steps about launching your startup, and also how to scale it up, how to bring it to international markets, and how to react to the current situation, and how to reshape and reflect the current situation where we need to create a strategy where we have to work from our houses. And today we are going to speak about this. And we have today 10 guests, experts joining our session from different backgrounds, from tech, marketing, business development, finance, investment. And I'm just waiting for final confirmation from chat in Click Meeting that you guys can hear me. And let me double check. Just give me a second. Yes, sorry guys, we just double checked the sound of Click Meeting platform, and let me reboot quickly, and then we will get back quickly because the attendees from Click Meeting platform cannot hear due to some technical questions. So we will sort this out quickly and get back to you soon, okay? Just give a sec. Can you guys confirm that you can hear me on Click Meeting platform? All right, perfect. Okay, finally, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining. Yes, we managed to make it work on Click Meeting platform. So yes, hi everyone. Can you confirm, guys, which cities you came from? Which countries, which cities you connected from? London, Hungary, Liverpool, right, Madrid, Boston, nice. Guys, thanks a lot. As we see, it's very international event today. And today we have a workshop called How to Build a Tech Startup from Concept to International Markets, how to develop your product, how to build your team, how to create a business strategy, marketing and sales strategy for your startup, and also how to attract an investment, how to pitch, and any questions comes in mind. Today we have 10 guests, tech experts joining our session, covering all the topics we are gonna speak today. So first of all, I would like to ask you, everyone, can you please text what would you like to know today about building a startup, especially in this current very tough situation. But this is very natural for tech entrepreneurs to react and respond quickly to the changing environment. So what would you like to know today? I'm going to write it down. And also, I need to make an announcement. The person with the best question today get a special prize. So please ask your question. We are going to write it down. I'll try my best to cover all the topics. And as I said, the best question today get a special prize. So please ask question regarding startup, regarding building startup. Come with any questions you want to figure out. We will try to cover as much as we can today. Yeah. Financial pitch, deck to raise investment. And guys, today we have 10 experts coming from tech industry. I'm going to introduce everyone from our experts panel. And we have representatives of VC funds today as well. So please chat, engage with the audience. And we are going to introduce all the experts today. So as I said, feel free to ask your questions. We will select the best question in the end of the workshop. And we will try our best to reply you even the session will over. We will make sure you get the answer. All right. So first of all, let me show you the agenda for today. Just a few words, because I believe some people, they never attended our events and workshops. So first of all, our event is organized by Eligent Club community in partnership with HALT Founders Lab of HALT Business School in London. And Eligent Club is a community of tech entrepreneurs all across Europe. And our aim is to help entrepreneurs to succeed on their entrepreneurial journey. And especially in this very tough moment, we are here to support you guys. We are here to say you, please keep doing no matter what. And that's what hopefully our guest experts also will tell you. First of all, let me introduce you a special person from Hungary, Barnabas Csikos. So this is the person, Barna. And Barna, if you can hear me, please say something. Yeah, just making you presenter. So yes, please. You switched. Your camera should work now. So if you can check your camera, if you can speak. Yeah. And yes, our request is from Hungary. So yeah. Can you say something, Barna? Barna, you're a presenter now, so if you can say something, or you can check your camera in order to make sure you can speak now.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you see me? Sorry, first time using Click Meeting, so it's a bit new to me.
Right. Barna, can you please introduce yourself and say us a few words, first introduction words regarding how we should react about the current situation, and what advice you can give to entrepreneurs who are just about to start building their startups?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, hi everyone from Budapest. I'm the business development leader at Input Program. At Input Program, we help Hungarian startups getting into the international markets. Sorry, it's just there's
No
a
worries.
huge
No
echo
worries.
for me here. So at Input Program, we help Hungarian startups getting into the international market, and my team is helping them to identify the best services that they can use at Input Program. We help them by consultancy sessions in business development, and also connect them to amazing international guys such as Slava, for example. And also, in this position, I had the pleasure to meet more than 150 startups in the last 1.5 years. So I would like to share just a few expressions and ideas that I came through. So you can hear it from everyone, but I have to say it's true. The team is the basis of everything. So I've seen the two extremities over the last times. And there were some highly technical teams with no idea about the business, but also there were some teams with strong business acumen, lacking the technical knowledge. The ones who could succeed and who were really successful were the ones who had represented both sides. But also, you can hear the founders out of university model. What I've seen, it barely works. There are some amazing counterexamples. There are some wonderful, really driven postgrads who can make it. But mostly what I've seen is that there were founders who had hard work in their corresponding industries um, for years, and they gathered so much knowledge and experience that they could turn it into a successful venture. Also, what I've seen is that B2B business models are underrated. So everyone wants to build something sexy, something everyone knows about. But what I've seen is much more B2B solutions succeed because of the lower sales volumes that still can make it profitable, and also relatively less money is burnt on marketing in these cases, at least in the cases what I've seen. But let's turn to the current situation. I believe the key takeaway from this is that agility is just essential. I've seen some startups struggling to adapt, but many have seen it as an opportunity. And what we see right now is that um, digital so businesses are shifted toward uh, digital. And right now we are speaking about digital businesses and launching them here. So for you, it's just an amazing opportunity, I believe. what I expect to experience in the upcoming times is that there will be some startups which are either fully led or unfortunately they are in wrong industries which will just go out of business. But also, I believe that there will be some startups who can really quickly adapt to what's going on right now, and they can just reform their business models. So we've been in constant contact with many of our startups, and what I've seen is that there were some which could just shift their business models and completely reform it in just 1 or 2 weeks, or they're launching new products, they are defining new target markets in this new situation. And I believe that this is a huge opportunity for you to get started, and this is an amazing time for you to turn to new businesses and new opportunities which are not served right now. Thank you.
So yeah, as a summary, I'm hearing that some YouTube listeners cannot hear you somehow, Barna. So just to summarize, your insight is we all think that it's a great moment to start building your startup, and what probably need to be ready for is to be very flexible and quick in making changes in your strategy, in your approach, in terms of how do you maintain your startup. And there is no kind of previous experience. Now we experience is completely new, a new situation, situation of the market, and we need to be very quick in changing our approach and be very flexible. And as I said, some companies, big companies, they probably slow in decision-making process. And those companies who can be very quick in their response to the current situation, they can, boost the business, and they can come to the, great opportunities. Yeah, Barna, thanks a lot for your reflection. Due to the time frame, so guys, as I mentioned before, please ask your questions in chat. We are gonna check all the questions, and the best question get a special prize today. It's a surprise. So thanks a lot again, Barna. Guys, let me also show you the agenda for today. What we are gonna speak, and what's the focus of today's workshop. We have very packed agenda: startup idea, team building, product development, business model, finances of your startup. Second part is about marketing and sales, growth and expansion, how to reach markets from your bedroom now when you actually cannot travel or be locked in our houses. So it's very actual. And also startup pitch and investment, how to pitch, how to get an investment, and any questions related to this. Moreover, we have 2 pitches today as examples, and our experts will be able to give you real-time feedback, how to improve pitch and how to make it work. As a reminder, today we make our workshop in partnership with HALT Founders Lab in London. It's a accelerator program in HALT Business School. So please check out later. We will give you all the credits. And let me introduce yourself, and I'm happy to start giving you some real knowledge. So again, please feel free to ask questions. We will write them down, and we will reply all of them via email in case we won't be able to cover it during this session. So first of all, my name is Slav Branovsky. I'm a serial entrepreneur, founder of Eligent Club, an accelerator program for digital tech startups in Europe. I'm an entrepreneur in residence of Brunel University, London, helping entrepreneurs to build own tech companies and succeed, prevent some mistakes and failures. I'm giving talks and providing mentorship sessions in HALT Founders Lab, but also some other communities. You can find me in Google. You can check my social media, and more than happy to follow up with you guys after the workshop. So let's start. I'm gonna give you the brief kind of reflection to the current situation, and also let's start with the basics, some basics. And even you already start building your company or product, let's make a quick reflection, okay? And also social media of our club: Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp group, email, LinkedIn group, Facebook group. So feel free to join us and follow us, and always we are happy to reach and contact you after. So first of all, before actually going into details about the finances, building a product, let's ask ourselves, why do you want to run a tech startups? And feel free to share your guys' comments. Why? What the reason? And I believe in the current situation, all of us, we're thinking, okay, what's next? What's our future? And it's very important to understand that it's not the easiest way to earn money and become successful. Yes, and as you realize now that borders can be locked down, we can struggle with the cash flow, and we can struggle with customers. It's very tough, unpredictable time. Yeah, so please feel free to share your reasons. Why do you want to run your tech startups? And I think when you're thinking about building a tech startup just because you really want to make money, you can realize that there are more safe ways to make it, to get a full-time job, or to become a consultant. And when you run a startup, you have so many unpredictable things. So I believe there is something much more important than money as a reason to run a startup. Yeah. And please feel free to share your reasons. Why do you want? And we are here also to inspire each other, and also to share our insights about the reasons we do. Exactly. Solving the world problems, and because technology is the future, and we are moving more and more as society. And we are here, probably we run our companies to make the future better, in a better way. Yeah, to solve real problems, to save lives of the people, and to make something for the society, not only for the financial success and outcome. Exactly. And by running your company, you can inspire other people, and you can inspire them to make some important change in their lives. And also you can showcase what does it take to be a tech entrepreneur. And you know what? If you make a research and ask some people, what do they think about building a startup? What do they think about tech entrepreneurs? Usually expectations like this. We have fancy offices, like millions of fundraising rounds, a lot of opportunities, very chill time. In reality, I believe, please say in your comments if you agree. In reality, building a tech startup, it's something like this: thousands and thousands of hours building a tech product, very tough moments, ups and downs, mental health pressure, cash flow issues, and so many more. So yeah, just to to be aware that running or building a tech company is not easiest way to make money, and also not easiest way to to make your life happy. But for those who are brave enough, we know this. And I just want to give one more comment. So please, guys, be aware, this is not the fancy life. It's about making your life tough. But anyway, let's start from the beginning, because some of you guys probably still thinking about where to get your startup idea, and which ideas are gonna be next ones. Which ideas going to be next ones to succeed on the market, due to the current situation where, as I said, the borders are locked down, and there are a lot of challenges of running any type of the business. And just to give you sort of general approach, how we can find these, good startup ideas. And also feel free to share your stories. How did you find your startup idea? If you're running a startup already. And in general, in order to find a good startup idea, we just need to talk to people and to know their pain points, what they struggle with, and what are the challenges are about. And I think this is very important to ask. And as you know, there are a lot of challenges right now. And you can basically talk to your friends, to your family members, in order to understand what people need right now and how technology can help to solve it. And currently, even due to the current situation, the startup ideas can come from personal experience, work experience, where probably you have to move to remote type of cooperation with your colleagues and co-workers, and also make a research, read research papers, articles about changing how the future of work, how our future will look like again in the moments of crisis. And also, you can ask how we can save time and money of people, or how we can save time is very actual right now. We probably have a lot of time, but we likely struggle with money. And also, I would really I'd like to add how we also can save lives of the people, how we can make sure we do something in order to save lives of the people. So, and a lot of startup founders, they can come with very good idea, but in reality, we need to know that startup idea solves some real problem existing on the market. And I believe that Derek is there. We have a special guest today, Derek Stewart. I would ask you, Derek, the same question, how your ideas came from, if you can introduce yourself and also share to our attendees how they can find a good startup idea. Derek, I'm making you presenter. Feel free to say if you can say anything. So yes, please, Derek, if you can confirm that you can speak. Just because I would like to ask you, Derek, about your opinion, because Derek is very experienced startup founder. So please feel free to introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Before I tell you about the startup idea, because it actually wasn't mine, it was my friend's, I just wanted to give you a couple of probably not bits of advice, but I've spent 35 years in financial services. So I've been through every financial crisis since 1984. For 17 of those years, I ran a global hedge fund business, and we only had one losing year, which was 2008. Now, the reason I'm saying this is that our area of focus was distressed investing. So whenever there's a problem, and I mean, no one enjoys what's happening now, but whenever there's stress or distress, this was when we made our best investments, and they set us up for higher returns in the future. So wherever there's distress, there's opportunity. There's a very famous Warren Buffett quote who says, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. So right now, over the last 2 or 3 weeks working from home, we've been focused on 2 or 3 new projects to get ready to launch in the coming weeks, as soon as we have the government say we can go back to work. So we are very excited about the opportunities right now and are working flat out. For anyone that's interested in starting their own business, I would recommend reading a book called Lean Startup. That tells you how to start up, have a lean, mean business, versus I wouldn't bother reading Blitzscaling. I started reading Blitzscaling. After about 5 pages, I put it down because it didn't make any sense to me. So what I would say is that the business model we've built was my friend's idea, who was a black cab driver in London. He originally came up with the idea. What we've effectively built is a super app where we're digitizing underserved SMEs. So what we're effectively doing is bundling together a suite of financial services to help these small businesses and communities accelerate the transition to the digital economy. There's never been anything more important than that than there is now. So the kinds of things that we would be including, sort of financial inclusion, would include mobile payments, where we provide contactless payments, digital banking, which helps with cash flow, accounting, digital accounting, e-commerce, insurance. We're actually exploring a income protection scheme at the moment to help people if this arises again. Pensions, saving for a rainy day, and things like loyalty and rewards, where customers are rewarded for their loyalty. So those are exactly the kinds of things that we're doing right now. And to put it into context, our business has only 3 employees, but we have thousands of customers. Our revenues have declined by close to 90% in the last few weeks, but we're confident they will go straight back up as soon as this is over, because our customers are taxi drivers, market stall traders, and sports clubs. And all of those communities will thrive when this pandemic is eventually over. So hopefully that gives you some insight into what we're doing. But the key thing I'd say is, if you're not solving a problem, don't start a business. I've spoken to so many people who want to start a business, but they haven't got an idea and they aren't solving a problem. I've been fairly critical of the startup world for the last 2 or 3 years. It's become frothy, undisciplined, expensive, and many businesses are just not solving a problem. So I think one thing this pandemic will do is make people really focus on good businesses that solve a problem, as opposed to businesses that are fueled with lots of VC money but aren't actually solving a problem. Hopefully that helps, Slava.
Derek, thanks a lot for your contribution. It's really helpful for your contribution. And let's move on, and feel free to share the comments later on and reply after. So yes, as we discussed before, that your startup idea can come from your personal work experience, from research, and I want to make a stress on the kind of research question about making research about the problem you're trying to solve and research about the solution you're trying to build. Because if you try to Google and look at the some academic papers, some articles, you can realize the solution you're trying to build for your startup probably already exists. So there is no point to reinvent the wheel, but what you can do, you can read the articles and academic papers and realize that you can improve something and make it something a bit better. So again, my reflection, why research is very important in order to find a good startup idea, but also to create a good solution for problem you're trying to solve. So because again, research can give you all the answers about the people, about the needs, the pain points, and existing people who try to solve the problem you're trying to solve. And problem research you can make in academic industry research, ask your target audience, and also make a practical research, basically to experiment and try to face the same problem you're trying to solve. And when I say problem research, what to focus on, and when you're trying to find the answers regarding where this problem is coming from, try to focus on the few questions. When and where this problem came from, how big and actual the problem. Maybe the problem is not relevant anymore, or maybe new problems appeared, as now again coming back to the current situation, as we all facing the new problems where we cannot travel, we cannot go out from our houses. We have some bunch of new challenges in our lives. And what was the evolution of solutions, if there is anything was developed before? So please make research, and what are upcoming trends and how to solve the problem? What are the industry changes? And in order to do so, I just give you the quick advices. I believe we have a special guest from Halt Business School, Liliana Kaimakan. I'm gonna ask Liliana to switch on to the conversation. But please, if you studied in the university, come back to your teachers, come back to your university. find the relevant teacher or professor in the field of the expertise, in the field of your problem, and ask for opinion. Again, opinion about your startup idea, opinion about the solution. Also, what you can do, you can go to online libraries like scholar.google.com. You're going to be impressed how many knowledge you can find there. And also, I'm a big fan, but this is not a promotion. You can look at those media and some special websites like a Harvard Business Review, where you can read a lot of the things about the problems, the trends, the solutions of the businesses needed, and real problems to solve. And also, as I said, you can make your own research. There are two other organizations, ISB, this is Institute of Small Business and Entrepreneurship. It's organization of professional researchers aimed to help entrepreneurs and helped businesses to make a relevant research about your business. And you can contact them, and also you can try out the academia. Like, this is the online source where you can again read academic papers regarding the problem you're trying to solve. Academia, if you can Google ISB, it's an organization in the UK, and academia, you can read. And probably Liliana Keimekan, a representative of Hull Business School. If you don't mind, I'm gonna ask you to contribute maybe a few advices about how entrepreneurs should use research during developing their startup, and how they can come to the university walls in order to collaborate. Can you give some advices or some reflection on that, Liliana? If you can confirm that you can speak, and feel free to
Hello, can you hear?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. Hi. Good evening, everyone. So definitely, I think coming from Hull perspective, we put quite a lot of focus on energy on supporting students developing their idea, and that's really the role of Hull Founders Lab, and that's the reason why this had been created, to really kind of harness and support students to get their idea to life. And I think what we are trying to do, and hope with the help of some external people, and thank you very much, Lava, for joining us and supporting us, quite a lot, is bringing from a good example from outside this and combining with I would say with the theoretical things. There are quite a lot of books, there are a lot of papers, there are a lot of models defined already in how to build a startup. What exactly do you need to do? How to take what are the first? What are the key steps you need to take to achieve and create your own business? So that's basically what we are trying to do at HALT, and kind of supporting the entrepreneurs and the people and the creative people in and the ones having ideas in HALT. But always it's really important to bring people from outside world, to bring their knowledge and their expertise, and offer students the opportunity to talk with these people and connect with them and get inspiration and understanding. And probably just to summarize, it's like in real life, like also in the academic world and in theory, when you talk about a startup, fundamentally is you need to understand the problem, you need to understand the people who have this problem, who has that problem, and how big is that problem for them? Is this a really, really big pain? If yes, that means you are onto something which will help you to have a good, successful business. If you constantly and continuously build on this one, so go and get into this understanding. See how you can get it, and you can use many ways to understand the problem of the people you address. From more sophisticated kind of research to really basic things. So go there, talk with people, understand their problem, and then test and start from there defining your solution. Also combine with this, read as much as you can. Yeah, so use the Lean Startup book. It's a fundamental one. I would say it's the Bible of a startup. So start from there. use it. It's very easy, straightforward to read. Start with that one, but there are so many other materials existing there. And the other thing I encourage everyone it is take examples and read about successful story, but also less successful story. Read about and check knowledge and information about failures, because you can learn. A failure in a startup world is not a failure. I would call it, and Slava, you can kind of probably build on this one. It's a learning. Yeah, so always from a failure you'd learn something, and you know what you need to do different as you go further. So from my point of view, I think what really makes sense is look into what exists in terms of literature knowledge, because that's basically built using examples and of knowledge and learnings of the people who went or been some time ago into the place where you are now. Combine this with real life examples and stories you can find, and then go and talk with people. Of course, here at the HALT students, they know that can reach us at any point in time to get support, and it's not just me; it's also my colleague Daniel Rucare, who are basically supporting from the faculty side, the HALT Founders Lab. But beside this, there are also colleagues. We have Lars, which basically it's a story in itself, about the startups and whatever. Amadeus, another successful story, and how you as a student, how you can build your own business while you study. What can be much better than you graduate, you finish your university, and you have also your business up and running, and there is a successful one, and you benefit of the whole knowledge and kind of what you can get out of the university. So happy to support anyone and needed. HALT International Business School, exactly, is in the questions. So yes, we have the program in HALT, and the focus of HALT on supporting entrepreneurial spirit. It's quite high, and that basically will do whatever needed to get and support our entrepreneurs within the university.
Liliana, thank you very much. It's amazing contribution, and also I asked our attendees if they can ask questions in chat, and if you don't mind, I will pass it to you, and maybe
sure.
you get the chance to reply even our session is over. I believe it's very interesting, and thanks a lot for your questions. It makes us think about something we never thought before, probably. So please ask. I have a question to you, everyone. So please text me in case, text in the chat in case you are sole founder, you don't have a team. So how many of you don't have a co-founder? So just tell me a few words. It's a very tough question, and lucky people who managed to meet founders. Right. Okay, guys. So the question is, now we gonna touch a bit about the building a team and how to find the right co-founder. It's very tricky question, and especially now because we cannot go out to the streets, and we need to stay at our houses. How we can do it? Yeah. So question: how to find a co-founder for your startup? And you know what? I met one person recently, and he said, he tried to work with, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 people, and all these people, they were bad, like he was complaining about all the people. He said, oh, no, these people are not, good ones, and so on. So my question, before judging other people regarding being a good co-founder, can we all ask ourselves, are we good co-founders? Are we good people to work with? Are we good people to join our team? Do we have the good skills like responsibility, knowledge, skill, passion, and all of these questions? So I highly advise to ask ourselves first, and maybe to think how we can improve our skills and our attitude, our manners, maybe some way of work, time management, and all of these questions before actually trying to complain or trying to find someone. But simple answer, You don't find a co-founder. You attract these people. You attract them by your, as I mentioned before, passion, knowledge, experience, interest in idea, all of these questions. So first of all, if you're a great person, if you're a person which can contribute something to the startup, it's easy to find good people to work with. Yeah. And definitely sometimes in reality it's it still takes time. So before actually trying to find a co-founder, I highly advise you guys to create a target profile of co-founder candidate, which roles and responsibility this person should carry on, what skills and expertise candidates should have, and what are the terms and conditions. You're looking for co-founder on equity basis, on salary, or some full-time, part-time involvement. So please create this portrait. So when you meet some new people and you have this first dialogue regarding, possibility to join your idea and so on, so create a good description, like what's your profile, and it helps a lot. And then I just give you sort of advices where you can probably try to find it out. So definitely, it's not only about the co-founder, also regarding the mentor and advisor for your startup. You can use your professional and personal network, experienced professionals, maybe your ex-classmates, yes, exactly, Silicon Roundabout in London. Sorry for not mentioning all of these, great communities, but still, you also can go to accelerator programs. You also can go to communities. You can join the events like that. So, guys, again, if you're looking for a co-founder, feel free to write it down in chat, explain what's your startup idea, and share your email so someone can find and be able to publish your needs. So if you have the need, if you're looking for a particular person to join your startup, feel free to share it. Write down if you're looking for a CTO or any other person to join your startup, and share your email, and we will contact you in order to help you out and make some match. But also you can, as I said, join the events and conferences and top leaders in the industry. So how you actually can do, you can make a research. If you're looking for, let's say, someone experienced in sustainability, you can make research on LinkedIn, in Google. You can find top companies and people working in top companies related to the field, and you can reach out these people and ask, are they willing to talk about your startup idea, or they probably can become a mentor or advisor. And there are a bunch of also the big conferences like Web Summit, like Idea Lab, events by Startup Weekends in many countries and cities. There are online resources like AngelList, TechCrunch, F6S, Google, and all of this. And as I said, if you're looking for a particular person, feel free to write it down in chat. We will check all your messages and comments, so don't worry, nothing's going to be missed. And as I said, we need to come out and to, again, first of all, to create a portrait of the target portrait of the people we're looking for. And also my comments about, imagine you met the good candidate. So the question, how to validate your teamwork, and I have some kind of proposal to you. So since you met someone, and maybe you think it's a probably good candidate to join your startup idea, what I highly advise you guys is to make a trial of your common work, of your teamwork. So agree for maybe 1 week to make a very simple tasks together, and make 1 week of common work. And then in 1 week you can meet up and see how it works. If that's promising, there are no challenges, no miscommunication, and so on, then you can make a second trial for 1 month maybe, and see how it goes. And if again all the activities you discuss, you have the synergy and so on, and then because some people that have a tendency to say, okay, I'm giving you 50% of equity and from day one, and then in 1 week time they realize there is no way to work together. So again, before making this serious decision, please make a trial of your work, and maybe if you manage to work 1, 2, 3 months together, you can work out terms, maybe some option to get equity, or some paid work, or some kind of manageable terms and conditions. But please don't give all the equity from day one, because you can realize that actually you cannot work together. And then if you manage to work 2-3 months, you can actually agree on some plan, and you can create a schedule plan of 6 months work together and see how it works. But as I said, before giving like fixed equity, 50-50 or whatever, if you are the first person came with the idea, you can create an option saying, okay, if we reach certain milestones in 6 months time, you get 10% of shares. If we work 1 year and we managed to do X, Y, that, maybe reach certain milestones regarding the cash flow, product development, business development, and so on, you can give more equity. But it can be equity option. So if the milestone is not delivered or not reached, you basically don't have commitments to keep this equity for your co-founder. And trust me, this is safe way to validate your teamwork. So sometimes you can realize that you have different motivation and you have different priorities in life, and maybe you have some upcoming challenging situations. So again, make a trial. Is it clear for you guys? Any comments so far? Did you do something like this before when you try to work out your teamwork? I'm asking those entrepreneurs who already got a co-founder or a team. Feel free to comment and to contribute. How did you manage to make a trial of your teamwork? But what I advise is to make a step-by-step process, rather than make quick decisions from day one and then realize it's not going to work. Also, what you should create is probably, sort of the roadmap. If you realize that it looks very promising and, your teamwork looks very good so far, you can create a timeline of milestones need to be achieved regarding your finances and business development, marketing and sales, and product developments. And also you can write down, as you see the common roadmap example, you can write down who is responsible for reaching certain milestones, and then you can see if these milestones was delivered, when. Was it in right time, or it was delay regarding the missed deadline or something? So by having the very clear roadmap, you can quickly identify if that works or not. Yeah. And also, this is like a structure about the building a team. So you have core team. You have likely 3 main activities, like a product development and support, business development and finances, marketing and sales. But you also have mentors and advisors, which potentially can join your team at some point or become your investors. You also have freelancers and collaborators, which likely can join your team later on. So it's your potential candidates to join a full-time positions in your team. You have investors and business partners. Also, you have clients. So these people, even they are not your core team, you also can check out even today who across these activities, who likely can join your team as a co-founder, or maybe who can contribute having this structure in your pitch deck, yes, it gives very clear understanding who is doing what. You know, sometimes we see the pitch decks where it's not clear who is responsible for what. And then if you say, okay, this is our core team, this is the Tom. Tom is responsible for product development. This is John. John is our investor. This is our business partner, Maria. She is responsible for X, Y, Z. So it makes very clear picture. So from investment perspective, it's more easy to understand if the team is looking solid and professional. Well, it's just a kind of the diagram, because you know, the clients can be your investors. The clients can be your business partners. So if you are dealing with your customers, you can realize that the customers who love your product, they can become investor to your startup. The clients who love your product, they can become business partners. The business partners who love your product, they can become a full-time team members. That's why it's this diagram is showed like that. So again, guys, feel free to consider this and put all the people regarding your startup in these circles and see which circles are missed. Where do you have a lot of the people, crowd, and maybe there are some circles where you have less people, and then you can work out whom do you need: more clients, more investors, more business partners, more freelancers. So yeah. And then just a few points. What is the good sign of good teamwork? And a few things. Good co-founder is when you don't get exhausted of waiting to get things done. When you realize that actually, everything delivered before you actually have to make a call or chase someone by email, when someone is calling you first. So there are a few things. Signs of good teamwork: trial, two-way communication flow. Again, you calling, person calling you first as well. Someone is taking the initiative, taking the lead, making suggestions, bringing some good ideas to the table. You are not competitors where you have a common goal and you see your startup as a common baby. Again, this is the sign of good teamwork. Continuous learning, where all your team members, they are ready to learn and to educate and to make evolution of the skills and knowledge. Again, when you don't have to chase to get things done. Process is productive but joyful. Again, guys, imagine you're going to work with these people for the next 5-10 years of your life. So make sure your teamwork is a joyful and enjoyable process. Otherwise, it's not the one. And if you can't make something, co-founder is sorting this out. So again, if you struggle, if you miss some deadline, the person not in position of judge you or saying, oh, you didn't do that, and kind of put you down. A co-founder is someone who tries to help when you need it to get the support. So please, again, check out and create this portal of the good hints of the teamwork and working as a co-founder. And this is just a example. It's very simple, very basic. You can make it a bit more complicated. But if you're just about to validate your teamwork together, create a small plan. Co-founder 1, it's probably you. Co-founder 2, it's probably your candidate or someone you work with. Set the targets, okay? For example, to contact 10 potential customers, set deadline, and what's going to be the outcome. So to contact 10 potential customers is not outcome. Outcome is to get 5 orders, for example, on amount or £5,000 or whatever. And what is actual result? You also need to track what actually happened after. How many people were contacted? What was actual date of delivery? And what's result? 2 orders, 2K, and maybe some also comments. Why maybe there is any challenge and so on. So again, it's no to make it super formal, but it's to track your performance, to make sure you go on track. And definitely you need to have the discussions in between and discuss with your team members. But it's good for you to organize yourself, and it's very good and clear to understand who contribute to what, you know, and then you can replan, and you can do this weekly plan or monthly plan wherever you want to, and also you can upgrade this spreadsheet. But this is just an example. How do I know I need a co-founder or employer? If the simple answer, if you don't have any sales, if you don't have any cash flow and profit, find a co-founder. Find someone willing to work on equity basis to make joint effort to make it work. If you have sustainable cash flow and you're able to cover 80% of activities in your company yourself, you need just to scale it up, to expand the, you know, let's say sales, which already, you know, happen. Then you need an employer where something is already in place, when it's managed, when you just need to increase and expand the activity. This is just my advice. Guys, we actually have 2 startup pitches right now. So the idea is to do so is to showcase 2 startup pitches examples, and to also you can comment, you can ask questions to these startup founders regarding their pitch, and also we are going to give them real-time feedback, real-time comments how to improve pitch, because the pitch is very important activity for all startup founders. We do it daily, so please let's make it. So first startup is Kaval, and I'm gonna connect Clemens. So guys, please feel free to comment, to give feedback regarding the pitch. And yes, I make Clemens presenter. Clemens, if you can confirm, you can speak so people can hear you and see. And we are going to give real-time feedback after the quick pitch, so you can see what to improve, what to make better. Yeah, Clemens, can you hear me? Yeah, I just want to make sure she is able to speak. Yeah, just give me a shout if you're ready. Yeah, can you say?
Okay.
Hello? Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna open the presentation. And
Okay.
First of all, it's gonna be the quick video, 1-minute video regarding your startup. So let's make sure, let's try to make it work. I'm not quite sure if it's gonna work to the broadband, but okay. This is the first startup we are gonna see.
Okay. So this is a video of our MVP. So this would be where all the horses that are for sale will be on the app. You could find all the information of horses that are for sale. You can find their show records, their veterinary records on the app, so any information you might want before you buy.
Right. So let me switch on your presentation. Just first pitch. Yes. Feel free.
So, has anyone in the audience today ever ridden a horse? Has anyone been through the process of buying a horse? If not, it's very similar to buying a car. There is background checks, safety procedures, trials, advisors. It's a big investment and it requires a lot of maintenance. Yet there's one big difference. There isn't one big company that has 1,000 horses ready for you to buy. That there isn't that concept. There's sellers all over the world, of buyers all over the world, and there's a lack of connection. So, can we go to the next slide?
Sure.
So the problem we're facing is that buyers are struggling to find horses. There is 2 million horse owners in the US, and 30% of them compete in show jumping, and yet they can't find a horse. They struggle to find the perfect match. On the buyer's perspective,
Yep.
Okay. On the seller's perspective, again, in the US, there's 2.72 million horses in the US ready to compete in show jumping, yet sellers tell us that it takes them a year to just sell one horse. It's just not sustainable, and it's hard for them to maintain a business considering they're struggling to sell horses. So our targeted consumers are the buyers and the sellers in the horse industry who've developed their business, who's been there for a long time. Our early adopters are going to be new upcoming sale barns and breeders, and young equestrians who know how to use technology and who are looking to build their network. So our product, the Tinder for horses. As you see in the video, there is the main page for the buyers and the sellers. There's the page for all the horses for sale, and there's the page for all the competitions you can find horses. On the app, you can add your trainer for consulting, and you can add advisors for the buyers and the sellers. Our market size and growth consists of $24 billion is the dollar size of Cavell's U.S. market, and the U.S. market in general is $122 billion, which is very good, and we're hoping to have a lot of success. We have tested, we have validated, and we have grown as a business. Through our market research, we have identified 4 steps, and we are really trying to develop the try and seeking aspects, to struggle in that aspect in the business. We've had success at a lot of big competition and media attention, and won $15,000 at the Bark Tank at Georgetown University. We have tested our MVP at a variety of horse shows, but I would want to mention one specific horse show where we won 35 natural users and 8 horses were added to the app. Our pricing model consists of the summer circuit, the finals championship, and the winter circuit, which depends on how long the circuit goes, and that depends on your price. This is a variation of our pricing model with showing the different packages, which can include advisors and trainers to help you find the horse or help you sell your horse. Why are we doing this today is because there's so many new tech startups in the horse industry developing, and we want to be part of that wave. We want to be part of all these new tech startups. Our competition there is competition around this idea, yet what we found is that there isn't an app that's convenient and luxurious at the same time. That is why we're aiming at high show jumping equestrians specifically. Our mission again is to find quality horses to quality riders and really work on that aspect. And we also want to mention that the showing industry in the US affects the GDP by 10.8 billion growth, which is a huge market. Our long-term goals consist of hopefully to launch at the Blue Chip Winter Championship Finals in June in England, then to collaborate with CWD, which is a horse brand that is in Europe and in the US that is looking into new tech startups to add to their equipment, and then to have an integrated platform at Eurostar and Salon du Cheval, which are 2 areas where a lot of startups come together in the horse industry to share their ideas and to work together. So this is our team. We have started developing in the US and mostly focused in the US today, but I am the general manager of Europe, and I'm hoping to keep growing the app into Europe and building into that industry. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm open to questions, and if you have any more that we can't cover today, my email is cs.cavell.official@gmail.com.
Clemence, feel free to text it in chat so people can reach you out if you can send in your email in chat. So now, if you don't mind, I would ask to join our expert, Sina Saini, to comment on your pitch and to give some feedback regarding your pitch. Let me make a presenter, Sina. Sina, if you can confirm that you're able to speak and you're able to, your video shows up. Can you confirm that? Sina? Yeah. I just made you a presenter, so this is our special guest expert joined our session. Sina? Yeah, I'm just waiting for a bit, but guys, and ladies for sure, thanks for mentioning. you're more than welcome to ask questions, and Clemens is gonna reply you via chat. And also you can speak by voice. We are waiting for Sina to join our session. Maybe, hopefully she can join us right now. Or also, in the meantime, I can ask to join Chris. Chris, our another, basically, Sina, if you can check your video, that video shows up because what we're waiting for feedback. But we, in the meantime, we waiting for, I can connect Chris. Chris, if you can just join. Oh, yeah, Sina joined. Yes. Okay, cool. Nobody can hear you. Can you switch on the sound, please?
So it's really lovely to hear you, Clemens, and thank you, Salva. It's been great to listen to your pitch. It was absolutely amazing to hear what you guys are doing and what you're producing. And it was good to see your competition, because that was the first question that kept coming up in my head. And what I would really advise you to do is to surround yourself with something, exactly what Salva was saying, was mentorship around and investors who are from your industry, because you will get much more funding, much more accreditation for what you're doing, because there's a huge, there has to be a huge need in this marketplace. I do know people who were at the Cheltenham course races, and just literally 2-3 weeks ago, before the shutdown happened, and there are a lot of investors there that were there that are buying horses, selling horses. So you must reach out for marketing and investors. I mean, it's such a great product, great idea. And it sounds like you are coming from a racing community, from what I can see, the group that you have already. But I mean, the product's amazing. It seems like you guys have done your research. You really need to surround yourself in the right magazines to make sure you get the momentum going, so people are aware of you, because that's usually the biggest reason why somebody is not connecting with you. And I would also like to know from yourself as to, you know, what marketing, what publications are you doing, and what your other competitors are doing, and where do you rank yourself in line with those competitors? So a lot of questions. I would love to speak with you if that opportunity happens, just to understand what your barriers are, because the biggest thing I see, and you winning from this, is making sure you do get investors from your industry, because people will understand the pain points and understand not getting access to the horses, or why does it take that long to sell the horses, as you said. It's interesting to understand, why is it taking them so long to sell it? Is it because that's the turnaround, or is that not the turnaround? They cannot find the right horses. So some of the questions you raise also raises questions for me to understand, why is the marketplace moving in that speed? For example, ice cream sales, they're very much based on seasonal. Is your organization on season, or is it not on season? So it'd be interesting to know that. But you have a global market, which is a great opportunity for a product like yourself. Yeah, I was really impressed.
Thank you very much, Sina. And if you don't mind, I would ask Chris to join our dialogue and also give a few words. We have very strict time frame. Chris, please give us a few words, a few comments regarding the pitch, because Chris won awards of our previous pitch day event in November, audience award of best pitch according to our audience. So Chris, you probably know a lot about how to win a pitch competition. So please give us any comments so far. Yeah, I'm waiting. Chris, you can join us. I made you a presenter.
He needs. I think he may not know where to press. Maybe.
Maybe you need to double check your video cam. So just double check your video camera, and it should be like a click button. Video camera. So yes, Chris.
So I found it, I think, and hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yes.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Slava. Yes, we were fortunate enough to be part of the Eligent Club event late last year, and even more fortunate to win the audience vote, which was fantastic. I guess that the feedback that I would give is something that we've utilized, which is a pitch coach. Which is really to have someone who's incredibly skilled at presenting and can actually give you very, very simple and direct feedback in terms of how to get the best out of your pitch. The thing that was hardest for us, I suppose, is brevity. That's a really important point. How to get a pitch across, in 30 seconds, in a minute, in 2 minutes, and in 5 minutes, to do so without sort of coming across too industry specific in a way that it isn't broad enough and can't be sort of captured by everyone. So that's tough, especially when you have something as specialized as the product, and sort of slightly niche in the way that you do, which obviously there is an audience for, and people really understand, of course, but the broad general public, myself very much included, who knows what the front of a horse is and the back of a horse is, but that's about it. They probably need to know a little bit less detailed stuff and a little bit more overview, which is probably what you'll find with quite a few investors. So yeah, go and find a good pitch coach, someone who you can really get some valuable feedback from. We did, and it certainly seems to have paid off for us in terms of the pitch.
Chris, recommend this amazing person who managed to make your amazing pitch last November.
Okay. Yeah,
so
she's called Beth Suzanne.
Feel free to text in the chat.
Yeah, of course. So we're a part of, we were chosen to be part of the KIC EIT accelerator at Imperial College in London as part of the 7 on the cohort. And we were introduced to this Beth Suzanne, who's the pitch coach for that particular cohort. And after 2 days, we really struck up with her. Her opening statement was this: in about an hour, you will either love or you will hate me. One of the two. It's one or the other. So we really loved her though in the end, and we were fortunate enough that at the end of 2 days, she normally does this with teams all over the world. She's coached 3,000 teams so far, and by her own admission, wow. I've no way of checking this, but raised over $2 billion worth of investment through the teams. And we were lucky enough after 2 days that she invested in us. So that was kind of cool.
Chris, thanks a lot. And now we have a second pitch, and after we will have a second part of the workshop. Amazing contribution. Please share your contacts, amazing contacts to help other entrepreneurs to make a good pitch presentation in preparation to competitions. Now we have second pitch by our second startup presented by HALT Founders Lab. And I will connect Olga. Olga, if you can confirm that you can speak. I just made you a speaker, and I'm gonna open your presentation in the meantime. So it's called Reboto. Yeah. If you just can confirm that you can speak now, and I just made you. Yes. All right. Yeah. Hi, Olga.
Hi. Can you? I need my colleague too, Emanuele.
Right. Let me try. Yes, I'll try my best. So yeah, guys, we are limited on time, so very quick, 3 minutes speech. Please try your best, and yeah, good luck. Yeah, just give a sec. Emmanuel? Guys, let's double check.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I just
Can
Yep. Yeah, it's working. Yes. So it's okay. You can keep doing.
my presentation maybe, please.
Yes. Sure.
So
Yep.
is it working? Okay.
Is now is okay, right? Can you guys confirm that you all can hear?
No sound.
it's working? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So to the current situation, 1 million plastic bottles were sold worldwide every minute, and only 1 of 5 plastic bottles is recycled right. So we have only in London 7.7 billion plastic bottles sold every year. So this behavior of plastic pollution is harming our environment and is one of the reasons for climate change.
So the problem that we are facing is that the market for plastic is still increasing, which means that we need to find a solution. How we can make sure that plastic is recycled in the right way and can be reused constantly, which will be beneficial for the environment and companies. There are many recycling companies and possibilities in London, but none of them are convenient and easy enough so that the majority of people would use it. This is a claim we got from our survey and our own experience.
So we were thinking about a solution that is convenient enough for a city that never sleeps like London. So we came up with the started idea called Rebottle. That is a bottle deposit system, which is easy to use, it's convenient, and will reuse a high percentage of plastic bottles. Before I will explain our idea further, Manu will talk about the current market situation.
Yeah, the plastic market is constantly growing in recent years as a consequence of higher demand and wider range of products. This comprehends single-use plastic, which means products that are thrown away right after their consumption. They will increase by 47% in the upcoming years. Unfortunately, only 9% of the plastic is recycled domestically within the UK, whereas the potential in case of right usage of all plastic products is covering at least 71% of the UK demand. Proportionally, as the plastic market increases, the recycled market will face even more revenues, passing from 36.1 million in 2017 to 50.3 million in 2022. As I already pointed out, there are competitive companies acting toward a plastic-free world, but many of them are not acting in the right way or for everybody. Few examples are Veolia or Bifa, which are giving the possibilities to recycle to many businesses or already grown companies, not providing any solutions for domestic workers or simply households. Then Olga will talk about how we would aim to be at the top of availability and quality.
Like I mentioned, Rebottle is a deposit system, and for those who don't know how it works, it's really easy. So basically, the consumer buys a beverage and pays a deposit to it. The consumer enjoys the beverage, and afterwards, the consumer returns his beverage to a container and receives the deposit back. So the idea is to make recycling more convenient, especially in metropoles like London, where nobody really has time. So the machines are placed next to supermarkets, and the deposit system will work as a reward system. That means that people will be motivated to recycle their bottles, and people with a low income will even be ready to collect bottles in order to get the deposit back. Additionally, we are planning to offer a service that would make it possible to get the deposit back without even leaving the house. So we would bring an innovation into the deposit market. Deposit systems work really well in countries like Norway, Germany, and Italy. And because of this system, the countries manage to recycle up to 95% of their plastic bottles. In comparison, the UK only recycles 57%. So our goal is to increase the recycling of bottles from 57% to 95%.
But how could we gain revenue from this idea? We are thinking about three main revenue streams, such as companies and organizations will have the possibility to sponsor the deposit machines, and in return, they will be able to place their advertisements on them. Then a monthly renting fees for the supermarkets, alongside with the collection of deposits of non-return bottles. But we are still working on it and in order to apply further developments. Thank you very much for your attention. We are open for your questions as well as feedbacks, as we are currently at the idea stage, so we would really appreciate some help, guidelines, or advices. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot for your pitch. Now I would ask our special guests to give a comments regarding your pitch. And also, please, all the attendees, ladies and gentlemen, please give a comments, give feedback. How did you like the pitch? What do you think, it's possible to improve here? And we are here all to learn. And if there is any comment how to make the pitch better, or if you like something in particular, the way of presentation and so on, please give a shout to guys and to Olga and to Emanuela to give them the feedback. And now I would ask to join Marka. Marka is our special guest. To give the comments about the pitch, please help guys and ladies to give their pitch, to make their pitch better. Marka is our special guest. Let me find you. So if you can confirm that you can speak, I just made you a presenter. Marka, are you online? Yeah, Marka? Yes. Can you double check your video and camera so you can speak now? And please give a feedback to pitch. Check your cam button, and probably you should be able to switch it on. Yeah. So can you double check your camera? And also David is our another special guest. Also, oh yes, Marka, yes. Nobody can hear you. Please switch on your sound. Nobody can hear you.
Now I think it should work.
Yes.
Better.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, and thanks for organizing this great event, and for giving me the opportunity to join. Hope everybody is safe and healthy at home at the moment. So let's go through the pitch. So definitely it's a very interesting idea. So well done to Olga and Emanuele for the great idea and the possibility to create a profitable business out of a problem, and then actually captures what you were talking about at the beginning. If you want to start from a pain point, definitely there is a big pain point. So well done. That is a great start. Something that I liked a lot about the pitch itself was how the narrative was built by using two speakers. Let's not forget that a pitch is anyway a communication product. So having the possibility to engage the audience, even in this way, I think is a great idea. Something that I might have added maybe, and I appreciate there is a limit at the moment to this presentation, but for example, Emanuele was talking about the market size. When we pitch to investors, to an audience, to co-founders, to whoever, as a matter of fact, let's try also to give a message of, okay, out of the market size, what there is in it for us. So the market size is huge, and talking about plastic, unfortunately, is too much. But how much are we targeting? Actually, Olga, in fairness, she said about London, but still translating that in volume, translating that in potential measures, so money, for example. So that could have been an idea for a continuation of the slide. And another thing, actually, I think it was clear, maybe was not portrayed, but it was clear, the mission. Of course, Olga started talking about the current situation and the pollution. at the end, there was a slide about the team. So I think when we want to bring on board investors, there is a famous says that they use in Silicon Valley. They say, bet on the joker, not on the horse. Investors look at who is behind the idea. So let's try to convey the skills that we bring on board, and I say we as a team of the startup. So let's try to show what skills we bring on board. Of course, we cannot show the curriculum during the pitch, but for example, okay, there are 2 co-founders. We are surrounded by these people. We have the skills on board, and this is the way we complement each other. So I think depicting the strength of the team would be a great idea for a good pitch. Likewise, giving a realistic idea of our market size, the addressable market, what we can really target, our target audience, that would be great. And as I said, there are limited time. In part, it was done. So yeah, I think those are a couple of ideas about the pitch and what I saw. But very well done. Actually, may I finish saying this is one of those ideas that could be replicated, maybe with a tailored business model elsewhere, and giving the idea during the pitch that you start as a trial with London, but actually you look at other markets, because this problem is actually quite global, is indeed very global. So there is a lot to do. Happy to talk more, happy to be contacted by anybody, of course, and I'm sure that through yourself you can share my contact details.
Mark,
thanks very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. We also have online David, please, if you don't mind, give us feedback regarding the pitch. And David Agar is our mentor of Eligent Accelerator program from London. So David, hi, good evening.
Hi there. Hope everybody can hear me okay.
Yes.
And thanks very much for organising this, Lara. It's been very enjoyable so far. So yeah, Marco's comments, I would agree with those. They were spot on. A couple of things for me where I think it left me with questions which I didn't understand, that perhaps could be addressed. Where, first of all, in the UK, we don't. Many years ago, when I was a child, that we did actually have a deposit system, but that's not been the case for a long time. So, question that arose in my head was, well, how do we actually implement this change so that obviously all the manufacturers or the vendors, retailers would actually be able to implement the deposit system. So that was one thing. That's potentially a showstopper, because even if it is possible to do that, and I'm sure it probably is possible, but how would you go about achieving that, and how long is that likely to take realistically? The only other thing that I would say as well is really at the end, if it was a real pitch, then I'd be wanting to know how much it is that you're looking for, and what that would be used to what the uses for that would be. And that also applies for the I think for the previous pitch as well. But I also liked the two-hander approach. I thought that gave it a refresh every time that it was handed over to the second person, and also, of course, it helped to show that there was a team there as well.
David, thanks a lot, and we are gonna connect you with the boss of startup, so feel free to have a chat afterwards, and thanks a lot for your feedback. And in the end of our workshop, we are very limited with time. Unfortunately, the time is flying, so in the end we will have the Q&A session, so feel free to give any comments to our attendees, to our audience. And especially my general question will be to all of our guest experts, how we can reshape our strategy, how we can start building our startups now, today, in locked spaces where we cannot move, we cannot travel. What to do, how to survive, and how to keep doing. This is my main general question to the end of the session. Please, if you don't mind, feel free to prepare your answers. I think it's crazy times, but at the same time, we need to find a way to take the opportunity and bring the businesses or our startup ideas to the next level. So, David, thanks a lot. I'll connect you later on a bit. So now, if you don't mind, we are gonna have a second part of the workshop about business, about investments, about the finances. So please, everyone, feel free to ask your questions in chat. As I discussed, there is some cookie for you, for all of you. You have a special announcement. So please ask the question. We will select the best one, and a special prize will go to the best question tonight. So let me jump quickly to the second part. The time is flying, but I'll try my best to give you more knowledge. So product development regarding sales, marketing, and finances. So also a bit few words about the tech side because it's also important. So I'm gonna give you a few comments regarding the product development because this is my main area of expertise. I'm running software development company since 2006. So later on, please, everyone, feel free to contact me, and I'm happy to give you a bit more knowledge. But few insights about the technology. So technology is not consistent. It's a day-to-day evolution, and what we need to understand that the technology changes happen so quick and frequently. So we need to learn every single day, make research, and also try to understand which technologies to use regarding building a product, making some technology working. So a few points. Before actually building any product or service tech related, please everyone, I highly advise you to make own research which technologies actual for the current moment. Also to understand your development and expansion plan. Are you building an app? Are you building a website? Are you building some backend script? So if you're building an app, for example, are you planning to launch a website? If you're building an iPhone app, are you planning to launch an Android app afterwards? Also, it should be related to the needs, to the target audience, depending on the country, the target audience of your customers. So the way how you can make a research about the technology, and also the lean methodology. Please read lean methodology book I mentioned beforehand. So before actually building anything, try to slice down product development into phases, into some sprints, in order to do not try to build everything in one round, but try to make some kind of the phases of your development where you can make a research. Google Scholar, GitHub, the huge library, huge community where you can find libraries for open source apps, scripts, anything. So maybe the product you're trying to build exists already as an open source solution. Quora, you can find a lot of answers on the Quora platform. Stack Overflow, again, when you need to find some tech-related answer, feel free to ask question on Quora or Stack Overflow. And also, as I mentioned before, this is not advertising, but Harvard Business Review and similar websites and similar platforms can give you the insights which technologies are actual nowadays, giving you the overview about the current situation. And I guess my colleagues, our guest experts can give own opinion on that. But now we focus on big data, on mobility, on remote teamwork, on prediction, on analytics, on machine learning methods of improving the efficiency of all the processes we're trying to do. So instead of trying to build a new social network or platform, maybe we can focus on real business and real industry related problems to solve, again related to big data, to machine learning predictions, or methods to analyze and predict the some business processes. Also some multi-platform solutions where some people, they can get access to the information in real time from multiple devices. If it's a remote teamwork, if it's your kind of office collaboration, everything now, as you understand, we need to use the remote teamwork and remote communication flows. So try to figure out if there is something not developed yet properly there. And also understanding your development and expansion plan is very important. So before building any product, please talk to your CTO, or if you are CTO, please to check out what are the features you have in your mind, what are the platforms you're planning to use, as I mentioned before, web, iOS, Android, Windows, which markets you're trying to reach, because certain countries, they have specific, for example, in certain countries, the Android devices are much more popular. In certain countries, the iPhone devices, iOS devices is much more popular and maybe trendy. And also, it's important to understand that certain countries and certain markets don't have quick internet connection and sustainable internet connection. And even sometimes in London, we have challenges with the sustainability of internet connection. So make sure the platforms or products you're trying to build, are suitable for broadband, suitable for devices you're trying to use. And also scalability. You're trying to build a product for 10 customers or for 1 million. And it's very important to understand your development plan regarding, which script, which programming language you are going to use, and so on. So a few comments on that. Also, technology selection tips. And by selecting a relevant technology, you can realize you can save up thousands and thousands of pounds, and also you can prevent mistakes by selecting the wrong technology. And even you have a CTO or even you have a tech partner, please make your own research on Google and mention resources and some other resources online. So again, check upcoming trends in tech, how tech solution applicable for customers. Technology perfection should be the main focus, because if your product doesn't solve the real problem, it doesn't really matter if your technology is super, quick and speedy and so on. Please make sure your product actually solves real problem first, and then you can focus on the efficiency of the technology side. Great stack, exactly. And please keep it cost effective. Please don't spend money when you're just about to validate your idea or your product. Don't waste your money. Find a CTO or find a team, maybe someone with experience willing to work, maybe as a part of university project. Maybe it's related to PhD or a research project, or someone working on equity basis. Please don't waste your money when you're just about to build your MVP and launch a product on the market. There are so many uncertainty points when you probably realize the product you're trying to build, is not relevant by some reason. And that's why, make sure you're able to validate it first. And a few points. as a guess, use lean methodology, use sprints, use phases in order to make a development. If you have like 1 year development plans, make it splittable into 4-6 weeks, any kind of realistic time frame, and make something, build the first version of product, show it to your customers, and then reevaluate what to do next. So every 4-6 weeks you can speak and talk to your customers or maybe first users in order to see how to improve it next, what to do next. And also very important question, how to reduce expenses on tech. Please use open source solutions. If you struggle to understand which open source solution can fit to your startup, feel free to contact me after the workshop. I'm happy to advise and give you relevant possible solutions. Also, tech developments with equity and researchers. Also, sometimes you can figure out that development outsourcing can work, and lean methodology. And a few comments I want to ask Stas Kulminski is a founder of Event platform. He got tough lessons about building his startup. So Stas, please, if can contribute a bit regarding your story and how to make sure you're building the product needed by customers, how to make sure you're not spending money in the wrong direction. Can you give some kind of tips and advices to entrepreneurs who just about to launch own business? Stas, if you can connect me and give a few comments how to reduce expenses on tech, and also how to make sure you're not wasting money. Yeah, Stas. So yeah, can you Stas, can you confirm? Just switch your video as soon as you're ready, and I'm just following up for the moment. So a few comments and how to organize the development process. So please use tech specs and development plan approach. Use task management tools and make phase by phase and reevaluation. Stas, please, if you can introduce yourself and give us comments regarding the product development, how to make it work. And give me a second. I'm gonna show your info. So yes, Stas, can you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Hi, everyone. So first of all, big shout out to everyone who decided to be here and learn and educate rather than go to some Zoom party with their friends. So well done. Yes, my name is Stas Kulminski. I'm a co-founder of Party Maker app, which is event services marketplace. And yeah, probably I'm just going to give my insights and my experience over the past few years, which I've been doing the startup, and the money cost us, which is about £50,000 we've spent on a product which we don't currently use. So I have experience in the mistakes. And first of all, just wanted to add to the book. So everyone mentioned Lean Startup. There is another amazing book which is called Inspired by Marty Kagan. I'm going to drop it in the chat because it gives you, so Lean Startup is more on the mindset and strategy, and Inspired is very, very to the point, and you basically, you read and you can actually see how you can build your development process in day to day. So basically my insights on everything which was previously mentioned and following up on Slava's MVP product building. So first of all, identify what is your core service. Like, what is the one thing you actually gonna do? So not all the cool things and add-ons, but what is the core feature? What is the core tech you need to build to actually make money? And ideally, you need to see if you can, the ready solutions, maybe there are white labels. If it's just check like things like white labels. There are white label platforms for a lot of things now, even for marketplaces. even for apps, check the white label. You can literally get the white label and put your branding just to test the model. So this is one thing. If you don't see the exact solution and you go into development, as Slava said, look for all the ready things which you can use. So if you work with, if you outsource the development, make sure to push them to look for ready solutions just for your MVP. Yeah, so you identified your core. This would be your MVP. What do you need to build so you can actually start making money and charge clients? So this is on the development side. And on the mindset side is, don't wait or don't hope for investor money to get the train going. Essentially, investors, they want to jump into moving train. So just make sure that you can build a product and start selling with the resources you have. Bootstrap it, get some initial funds, but try to spend as little as possible to build the product so you can either sell and actually get clients or at least get commitments. For example, like the tech platform we want to build, we're still in the process, is very technical. It gives amazing quick results, but then to actually start selling, we thought, okay, what can we recreate manually and give at least some value? Can we start making money? And then, yeah, and we actually did, and we started making money, and we bootstrapped. So the first product we built was an app, and then a web app. We spent totally like about 50,000 into the air and built all the cool stuff, and we were really happy. But then we couldn't monetize it. Then the second product we built, we took Shopify, spent maybe £1,000, rebuilt the template, and started making money and started selling. There are different type of products. So this is just as an example, but this is the mindset you need to go into. So ideally, you need to go raise money when you have a product, you have either sales or you have commitments, contracts, or letter of intentions from client to say, yeah, we're going to use this product when it's built, or we use it now, but we would like to use more. So then when you have this, and when you have actual business, so for example, you can start developing this business very slowly, like as all the classical business, like you do some sales, you reinvest, you grow. It takes you 20 years, but you get somewhere, right? You do want to do this. You want to get money and grow really quick. But if you are at the starting point where you imagine that, okay, I can go for the next 5 years and be self-sustainable and grow little by little, this is a very good indicator to investors that you are investable. And then you can negotiate a better terms. You can give less equity, and you just go into the room, not with your hand asking for money, but actually asking for partners and saying, look, we're already moving, so jump in. This is my very brief insights, but to sum up again, go lean, make just the core product and try to sell it, and then look for investments. Have a business before you look for investments.
Stas, amazing contribution. Thanks a lot. And yes, thank you very much. We are, unfortunately very limited with time, but again, we have a few more information and kind of the summary up and selection of best question for today, and also Q&A session. So I unfortunately, I cannot go too deeply into business development and finances, but what I would like to share with you regarding the business development, the main question: what is the hardest thing in building a tech startup? And I believe most of you already experienced that the hardest thing in building a tech startup, sales. So we need to make sales, and there is a kind of the very common debate regarding, as a startup founder, do I need to make a sale myself, or I need to hire a sales manager and make it work? In reality, I guess most of startup founders can confirm that you need to be able to sell your product yourself, because no matter if you pitch into investors, to partners, to potential customers, they want to see the first person of startup, the core founder, who able to explain what product does and why it's good to use this product or service. And what is very important to kind of clarify, that technology is a tool to solve problem, but it's not tool to make business. Some startups, they think that if you did amazing product, it should get them pipeline of customers straightforward. In reality, it's never like that. It should be like a standalone process of creating a sales strategy, making a sales plan, and also make a sales execution. So please make sure you have a standalone process for selling your product. Even it's amazing, it still need to make an effort to reach our customers and to explain what exactly your product does and why do they need it to try it out or to use. And what is also important, and a lot of startups, they create a customer apps or services for customers. And first of all, maybe the advice is to understand, are you building a product for business or for end customers? And there are benefits and some minors of building a product for business and also for customers. And there are some minuses of building products for B2B sector. It has longer sales process and limited scalability and depends on professional network, while there are a lot of many industry-related problems to solve and can be profitable since first customers, and it can have less marketing expenses and less competition. So please check out what is your target audience. Are you trying to create a product for business or end customers? And also for B2C, it's highly scalable. Usually, there is no need to know sometimes industry experience, specific knowledge, and usually it's short sales process because you can show, your product on your mobile phone, and if someone likes what you did so far, it's done. But how many of you guys, that's a question, how many of you installed new app today to your iPhone or Android or any device? How many apps you installed today? My answer, 0. I didn't install any apps today, and the reason why, because I don't want to have more apps anymore. As soon it's not helps me to make more money, or it helps me to save up my time, or it doesn't help to save life or something like that. So I need to have a real value in the product before actually making any decision. Exactly, 0. And that's why it's very tough to convince people. Even your product is amazing, but for businesses is a bit different. If you can explain, okay, by using this tool, this product saves me X amount of money, Y amount of time, and it's it helps me to work more efficient, more smooth, or maybe even it makes me possible to work, because if there is remote tools like this one-click meeting, we need to use it because there is no other way to communicate. So exactly. And current trends, a lot of startups, they start building web apps where you don't have to download anything. You just can reach product or app via link, where you can open your browser and actually you can develop web apps, which definitely can be also multi-platform. This web app can be accessible via desktop or mobile device or iPad or any tablet device. So again, think about this. And also regarding the product you're trying to build and the business strategy, and where do you plan to promote? Even let's say you're based in the UK or you're based in another European country, think where you can, try to promote your product first. And in our accelerator program and in our community, what we're trying to do is to build knowledge and opportunities to reach international markets by connecting people from all across Europe, by connecting organizations, universities and academic professionals all across European countries, in order to give access, to give knowledge, opportunities to entrepreneurs to reach international markets via communities and via contacts we make right now. So as I mentioned before, if you're looking for business partners in particular country, in particular market, feel free to chat, leave your email. We will pass all the details and we will provide all the information after the workshop. So again, if you're looking to opportunities across Europe, across new markets, feel free to share this need in chat. And as I said, we won't miss any comments so far, so please do so. And again, what is very important is to have very clear positioning map. Where do you stand across your competition? Are you building products for small teams, for large companies? You building complex product or something very simple and intuitive? You need to find your niche and some kind of very clear value proposition and product market fit for your startup and product and service. So again, it's very important. And what I just wanna contribute, and I'm gonna have a summary wrap up by our experts and guests, and guys and ladies and everyone, feel free to write your question. We selected the best one to give you a special announcement today. This is a special day. So again, few comments about the sales strategy. Sales strategy is where you have a pragmatic plan, you have the certain milestones, and what I highly advise you to do is to create a cash flow plan for your startup regarding how many sales you're planning to make, what are your expenses, and please make it realistic, in order to make it work. And also, what I would like to do is to connect our Eligent Club ambassador, Lars. So Lars is representing his company and helps startups to get fundraise, get investment opportunities. So Lars, if you can contribute your comments regarding how in current situation startup founders can get investment opportunities, how we should pitch our projects today in the near future, and what are the changes, how we need to reshape our vision regarding investment needs and the investment opportunities. If you can introduce yourself, I'm just waiting till you come in to the session, and please introduce yourself and give us comments regarding the investment opportunities. Please, I'm waiting for you being talking, so please, waiting for your... No, we cannot hear you. Maybe you can check the microphone. And so please, we are waiting for your reflection regarding investment opportunities nowadays, how startups should pitch for investment, and what are investors' expectations now. What are they waiting for? Which startups they looking for to invest, even in these current tough moments? I cannot hear you. Nope. Check your sound.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Obviously, as you were saying, my company focuses on helping startups get advice on how to structure fundraising, how to execute on fundraising, but also some strategy and other advisory types of work. And I would say to your question about how to go about fundraising in this current environment, I think what we're seeing now is very much a return to sustainability, but not sustainability in what you would normally consider, given the latest trends, but actually a return to sustainability in actual business modeling. So that means for everybody out there is that you actually now need to come up with something that's sustainable from a business perspective, which means you need to be able to show returns. You need to be able to show a profit. If you're for profits or against profits, it doesn't really matter, because the people funding you, they are for them, because that's the incentive. And recently what we're seeing is, despite everything that's going on in the sort of the world environment, is that yes, a lot of capital flows and a lot of companies are affected by this new virus situation. However, there are some industries and some sectors, and especially some companies, that are hedged against this type of risk. Number one can be because they sell to governments. It can be because they provide health services. It can be because they are 100% online platforms and they sell products which aren't really affected as much by this, which means they might be selling medium to low market products online. I mean, if you look at some of the technology companies around you right now, you see Zoom. That's mostly it's a B2B product where they make actual money, but that's something that's really, really surging in these days. And there are many other examples, but in terms of fundraising, you really just have to know where are we, what's the proposition we deliver, is it sustainable over the long term as well as the short term. The short term right now, and I'm talking about with the Corona situation, is that the short term is not as important as the medium to long term, because everybody knows this is a very difficult time. But if you're able to show that you're able to adapt the business proposition for this challenging time, obviously that's a huge benefit, not only to you as a business owner or founder, but also to the people you're asking for money or the people who have already given you money. So, I would say altogether, sort of to cut my own speech short, is that everyone looking to seek investment right now in private markets, very important that you can show a sustainable business model. You don't need to have profits immediately. No one ever expects that, and even showing that would be, I think it would be unfeasible, because you need to spend money to grow. And thirdly, you just need to show that you're able to be agile in this environment or in any other environment or adversity, to show that your team is able to pivot, to change a proposition into another, or to adapt a proposition to challenges. And I think all these things are what helps companies raise right now. It's what we are helping our clients with to help them raise now. And to be perfectly frank, we have had now probably the most successful few weeks of any time at all. So it just goes to show that even though there's a global shutdown, then you can still go out there and have success. It all depends on how you frame it. And just to capstone all of this is that people have more cash on bank now than ever. That's why the public stock markets are going down. It's because people are liquidating their assets. When people are liquidating their assets from the stock market, it means that they get cash in bank, which is why you never hear about any banks with issues. Okay, so especially in this climate. And
1 minute, Lars.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
fine.
1 minute.
And when they liquidate their assets, obviously it means you have cash on bank, but you're not making any money of the cash you have in the bank. So all the investors are looking for opportunities right now, especially private investors. I see there's a question about angels, VCs, etc. I wouldn't even think about VCs unless you're making 1 million revenues, especially in the UK or London, because they won't even look at you. You can talk to them now and make a relationship, but unless you're making 1 million revenue, they're not going to talk to you, unless you're in medtech. I would focus on private investors, and I think Doris made a lot of great points before. Don't waste money. That's what Stas said. You can make an MVP with 25,000. You can make your first 100,000 with less than that in revenue. So look for a business angel who has relevant experience. If they know the market and you can provide them with an opportunity, they're going to invest. So that's my 2 cents.
Lars, thanks a lot, and feel free to leave your contacts, LinkedIn profile, so maybe people can join, connect you, and ask more questions. Because Lars is Eligent Club ambassador in London, representing the values, the culture, the knowledge, of our community. So feel free to reach him out after our session. So Lars, thank you very much for your contribution. It was really, insightful. And I would ask, we're just about to finish. We have a few sentences to summarize our session. Few announcements about what's next and how to join the next session. And the winner of the question, what is a special cookie for the winner for your questions? We have 2 winners. So please, I would ask you first, Liliana and Sina, if you don't mind, can you make our final comments, how we can, move on, how we can reshape our strategy, and what advice, one more time, you can give to entrepreneurs who just about to build own startup in this tough situation, in this unpredictable time. Please, if you can give a few words about that, and I would be very happy to finish session afterwards. So yes, I'm just connected to you, Liliana and Sina, to join the call. So if possible, if you can switch on your cameras one more time. I made you both speakers, so feel free to connect, and we're just about to finish in 5 minutes, I promise.
Hi everyone. So from my end, I think quite a lot of interesting things. Thanks a lot, Slava, for putting together this workshop. I think very insightful for everyone. Few words, to close from my side. I think as a business, it's important to understand, and everybody kind of pointed this, your people and the problem you want to solve. Make sure this is at the base of your business. You put it very clear and articulate it very clear. Find and create your team, build your team, and make sure you have around you people who can help you and ask for help and support whenever that's that you need it. And I would say also very important is when you start preparing your pitch, make sure that exactly you have a clear view about what your business is going to deliver. Yeah. So what is your business plan? What do you want to achieve in 12 months, in 18 months, in 5 years? I think that's also Lars clearly mentioned, and the other speakers clearly said, when you go to investors, they need to understand what will be your what you bring to them, there'll be their gains. So be clear on the problem, build it very clear and have it at the base. Test all the time and make sure that you have kind of iterate and get buildings into and refine your proposition, and make sure you have a clear vision, a strong one. And land it very clear with everybody around you, and have a strong team around you.
Liliana, thanks a lot. Sina, please, can you give us a few comments? We cannot hear you. Maybe you can double check your microphone, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Liliana. That was a really good summary. And Salva, I don't know how you're doing this, so well done, as Liliana said. So yeah, I would also say pretty much reiterate what Liliana said. And building a team is so important. It's one of the biggest things that we did at Fan2 is the team is so important to get you to the finish line. And when I say the finish line is to get you to a product that you can actually sell. So it's really, really important to get yourself with a team. First, it would be a co-founder, of course, and then after then your employees. But we had a team of 12 So I understand the difficulties of building a team and even the co-founder. Number one is definitely your team is going to get you to the finish line, which is a final product. And exactly what Liliana said, all the other aspects of the business are so critical. And you will attract the right people, because people will want that your co-founders, if you find the right co-founder who doesn't have the qualities you have, they will have the opposite qualities, and you both will help each other through the journey. And everybody that we've hired has its own special qualities. Nobody else in the company would have had those qualities. That only one individual has that quality. So when you find a founder, he's definitely going to be the opposite of you. He's not going to be anything like you, because you represent yourself, but you need other people to surround you with the strengths that you don't have. So I have surrounded myself with lots of people that I do not have any strength in, because that's what whatever you're searching for, reach out to those people. This is a great time for the next 3 months to prepare. Once you can go outside and start meeting people face to face, this is a great opportunity to say, this is what's missing, this is what I really need, and I really think that you can offer a lot to me, and let's start the conversation. So this is a great time, because people have the time now that they wouldn't have had.
Thanks a lot, Sina. And guys, it's a pleasure to have all of you. I wish we could speak more. It's the time is flying. It's amazing. But for those who are still here, and for those who are listening, and we have also viewers on YouTube channel, and they're waiting for results of the our small competition. But before that, I need to update you very quickly. So what's next? If you like what we did today, and if you like the conversation, if you need inspiration and knowledge and amazing conversation, which I enjoyed so far a lot, thanks a lot for everyone, to all our attendees, to our experts, to our mentors of Eligent Club and Accelerator, and club ambassadors. And I'm very pleased to see this international community working no matter what. And thanks a lot one more time. So what's going to happen tomorrow, 6 p.m. London time? We're going to speak about how to organize remote teamwork in a tech startup, tools, techniques, insights, how to how to work in our houses and still have a connection with our team members, and also how to optimize, how to avoid our mental health pressure, and also to keep doing our things in study, in our professional field, and also making sure it's productive and efficient. So again, we will send you the link tomorrow. You're more than welcome, all of you, to join us tomorrow, 4th of April, Saturday, 6 p.m. online. Similar session, new guests, new experts, new attendees, and please join us if you can. Another important information: as soon as we run Eligent Accelerator program, our next investment pitch day happens on 28th of May online. It's our first online pitch competition, pitch accelerator session. So again, we will update you regarding the links. Check out our social media, check out our website. Please join us. It's going to be amazing. And hopefully in October, we will meet all of us in person in London. So we have 2 winners for the best questions. We are going to send you an email reminder. So it's Tony from Click Meeting. Tony, thanks a lot for your question. You are the winner of this small competition in Click Meeting, and we have Danny Wong in YouTube watching us, still watching us online. Thanks a lot, Tony. Danny. Thanks a lot, Danny and Tony, for your answers, and we definitely will pass these answers to our experts and reply. So Cookie, this is the first official announcement. So ladies and gentlemen, this autumn, what's gonna happen? Eligent Film Festival. It's a first international film festival about startups, And 28th of November, gala evening with the winners of international film festivals. All the works, all the short films, all the advertising videos about startups, we are going to showcase on 28th of November in London. So Tony and Danny, you get a free ticket to join the session. And the good news for all our experts, invited experts and club ambassadors and mentors, you get free tickets as well. So please stay tuned. We will inform you regarding this special event. This is a first film festival about startups. There is nothing like this before across the globe. So we are very pleased to run this. And this April, we open submissions for all the works all across the globe to showcase the works. Any questions, feel free to email us at general@eligent.club or follow our social media. One more jump. And thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot. I'm very pleased to have you. And join us tomorrow if you get a chance. Stay safe. Stay at your houses. And looking forward to see all of you in person. Thank you very much. Amazing evening and very inspirational. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We will pass all the questions and comments to you afterwards. Thank you very much. We are closing this session. And yes, thank you very much, everyone, one more time. I really enjoyed the session. And Tony, please leave your email. We will send you the details regarding the film festival. So I will send you official invitation, free tickets to the gala evening with the event. And again, see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. London time. Tony, thank you very much for the question. We definitely reply you back via email. And thank you very much, everyone. YouTube, thanks for staying with us. It was amazing start of our online activities. Yes, you are, Tony. That's you. So yes, that's you. And I'm finishing the session online broadcast on YouTube. Everyone, thanks a lot. Our YouTube, guests and attendees, thank you very much for your for staying with us and your questions and contribution to the dialogue. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm finishing this session. So.